Well, guys, it looks like it is official. Jamie Foxx will be playing Spawn in the upcoming live-action adaptation. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I'm Robert Storms. If you're finding me for the very first time, be sure to click that subscribe button. Yeah, that one. Okay, so it's being reported by Deadline that Jamie Foxx has officially confirmed that he will be playing the role of Spawn in the upcoming Spawn reboot live-action film that's going to be directed by Todd McFarlane and produced by Blumhouse Pictures. So about a month ago, I did a video addressing some of the concerns I may have of Jamie Foxx possibly playing Spawn because of his role as Electro. I understand two different characters completely, but I do have some concerns because Jamie Foxx is one of those actors, if you watch some of his movies, he does tend to overact sometimes. And The Amazing Spider-Man was one of those cases where he did completely overact. Whether or not that's on Jamie Foxx or the director Mark Webb, that is something I just clearly do not know. But Jamie Foxx has been officially cast as Spawn, and Jamie Foxx, whether he overacts sometimes or not, he is a really good actor, and I am now looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to bring to the role. My main concern for the upcoming Spawn film is the director, Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane created Spawn. He is the comic writer and artist for that comic series. Todd McFarlane never had any experience directing a film before, and this is going to be his first ever movie, and that kind of concerns me. Now, Blumhouse is the production company behind this movie. That does give me some hope because Blumhouse is one of those studios that's really good about making these movies on really small budgets, and they blow up and make tons of money at the box office. You can look at movies like Split and Get Out for an example. Those are films that were filmed with really small budgets, and they blew up at the box office, and I like the fact that Spawn is going to have a small budget. Because right now, every superhero movie that comes out is like these big, giant, blockbuster spectacles that cost like $150 to $200 million. And the fact that Spawn is going to be shot for about $12 million, I'm actually looking more forward to that because Todd McFarlane has already come out and said Spawn is going to be in this movie, but you're not really going to see him. He's going to be a lot like the shark in Jaws, where his presence always going to be felt, but you're not always going to see him. He's going to kind of be like this shadow in the background. He's not going to talk that much. He's not really going to make his presence known, but he's always going to be around in the movie, and that has me really excited because this movie is going to focus more on the horror element, and there's nothing scarier than what you can't see. That's one reason why I really like the first couple Paranormal Activity movies, because you never saw what was going on, but stuff was going on all around you. And I'm really curious to see how Todd McFarlane is going to write this script and take this character in this bold new direction. I'm a huge fan of Spawn, maybe not the biggest fan in the world, but I did read a lot of his comics in the early 90s when I was at that age where the comics affected me. Image was this hot new comic industry on the block where people like Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, and Rob Liefeld broke away from the main companies and created their own characters, and Spawn was one of those characters, and all my friends were huge fans of that character. And I remember going to try to sneak in to the Spawn live action movie when it came out in the 90s. I was unsuccessful, but I am a fan of the character and I want to see what they do with him, and I like the idea of a small budget. My major concern is Todd McFarlane directing this thing. That's honestly my major concern. Jamie Foxx officially cast, that's great. I think Jamie Foxx can do a fantastic idea as long as he doesn't overact like he does in some of his other movies. But Todd McFarlane, I think, is the wild card here. It's really going to depend on how he does this, because if you look at someone like Frank Miller, who co-directed Sin City, we all know Robert Rodriguez was the real director. That Frank Miller was only there to kind of lead everybody into what was in the pages of his comic book. But when Frank Miller had a chance to direct the movie himself, like The Spirit, it was a trash fire. It was horrible. That movie was god-awful. So that's what I'm worried about. Are we going to see Spawn and compare it to The Spirit? Or is Todd McFarlane going to come out, maybe get some help from maybe some friends that are very talented directors, and maybe they can give him some pointers? That's what I'm worried about. Todd McFarlane is the thing that everybody should be worried about. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about Jamie Foxx officially being casted as Spawn? How do you feel about Todd McFarlane, who has no directorial experience, directing this as his first movie? Be sure to leave those comments in the comment box below. Also, guys, once again, if you're finding me for the very first time, be sure to click that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.